All rise. It's time to get legal. Get Tyler and get paid. Now, here's the host of Get Legal, attorney Michael Tyler.
Hi, thanks for joining us. I appreciate you taking the opportunity to give me and my guest a little bit of time to stimulate your mind with some of the information that we're going to provide to you today. Just thinking back, I've been practicing as an attorney in Baton Rouge for a little bit over 10 years. With that, I've done some work with state government at the Attorney General's office, but now I'm practicing on my own. In my years of being an attorney, I've come across many of different clients and some people who I weren't able to sign up as clients just based upon maybe income factors. Sometimes people aren't able to pay attorneys the necessary fees that are needed to take part in the legal process, but yet still there are individuals who need some form of help before they step into that arena. There are different organizations around the area wherein you can find attorneys that can provide you with very competent and a quality level of legal assistance. One such organization is Southeast Louisiana Legal Services, which functions here in Baton Rouge. And today I'm lucky to be joined by my guest, Ms. Talya Bergeron, who is an attorney for Southeast Legal Services. And today she will impart upon us some good information that will allow those out there who may need some form of legal aid, as it's called, or some form of assistance in a legal manner wherein you can't afford the legal fees. They can provide you with assistance so long as you qualify and as long as it's an area of law in which they practice. So for that, Talya, I appreciate you joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Okay. So now, how long has Southeast Legal Services been in Baton Rouge?
We have been here since July 2011. The area in which we cover, it was previously handled by Capital Area Legal Services. But when that office closed, our office began working with the clients in this service area.
Now, would it be appropriate to categorize Southeast Legal Services as legal aid?
Yes, we provide legal assistance to people of low income.
And what areas of law do you guys practice in?
We handle civil legal matters such as divorces and custody. We handle succession matters, bankruptcies, landlord-tenant, consumer defense, public benefits such as Social Security matters. We handle tax issues. We also assist people who have been affected by the storm. In August 2016, we assist them in clearing title so that they may receive benefits in order to repair their homes.
Oh, wow. So if a person watching today, if they needed to get in touch with you guys, would there be some type of forms that they would have to fill out or some type of requirements that they would have to meet for your services?
Well, first of all, because we are a civil legal aid organization, we do not charge for our services, but our clients would have to qualify financially. And so if they qualify, then they can contact us and apply. There are three methods in which they can apply for our services. One means in which they can apply is over the phone. They can come into our office or they can apply online.
Okay. And from the standpoint of the attorneys that you guys have in your office, and I'm going to mention this just because I do a little criminal practice, and one thing I always hear in the courtroom when doing criminal practice, if a public defender is appointed, a person would always categorize them as not being, quote, a real lawyer. Could you please give us a little bit of what your experience and background?
Well, I've heard that phrase before, but the fact that we do not charge our clients does not diminish the quality of services that we provide in our office. It's a benefit to the client. We understand that everyone does not have the means to pay for legal services, and as a result, we do not charge. We are paid through the National Legal Services Corporation, and we have other grants that pay our attorneys. So the client is not forced to pay. They're not charged any fees by our office. However, if they would have to pay court costs They pay the court costs to the court, but they don't pay our attorneys. But we provide the most efficient, and we do the best that we can for our clients, and it doesn't matter that they do not pay us.
And with that being said, from the standpoint of the work that you guys do provide, would that include having to go to trial if, I guess, the legal issues necessitated such?
Yes, we do. We do go to court for our clients. Prior to my taking the current position that I have, I'm currently the directing attorney, but I've represented clients in court for several years with Southeast Louisiana Legal Services. I've handled family law matters, and so we go to court all the time for our clients. We don't just give advice.
Well, that's fantastic. Now, let's say a client does come in with a case, and let's say, of course, all clients feel that their case is very important.
Right.
All clients do.
Right.
And to an extent, all cases are very important to us as attorneys.
Right.
We just have to prioritize certain cases. Are there any, I guess, legal issues that can come into Southeast that may be given some type of priority status?
Yes. If a person has been served with pleadings, then we take those cases as priorities. And especially in our family law unit, one priority is representing victims of domestic abuse. We also have as a priority representing people who have contested custody issues. Another priority is assisting people in maintaining housing. For instance, in our landlord-tenant matters, if someone has received an eviction notice and they have no other place to live, that's a priority for us, and we want to maintain housing for our clients. And we also want to ensure that they are able to live in society, and that we can maintain the family unit as much as possible. For instance, if someone is in jeopardy of losing their children, we try to keep their children with them as much as possible.
I can see why that would be very important, and I
Right.
can also see why you would have to prioritize those,
Right.
Especially in a situation where myself practicing as an attorney, on the other side of the table, there usually is maybe an attorney that's not so willing to give concessions,
Right.
and maybe not so easy to work with. So I can see why you guys would definitely have to prioritize
Right.
certain matters. Now, given the reach that your organization has, given the fact that I believe Southeast does operate in Lafayette.
No, we do not.
Okay.
That area is covered by Acadiana Legal Services.
Okay.
We do cover 22 parishes in the Southeast Louisiana region.
Okay.
We have offices in Houma. We have offices in Hammond, Covington, Harvey, and New Orleans.
Okay. Well, as you can see, sometimes attorneys can be off sometimes with the information that they have.
Oh, that's fine.
But with that, given your reach, you do have the ability to, I guess, cross over to other organizations with
Yes.
respect to collaborations and
Yes.
assistance.
As a matter of fact, if we have someone who lives in Baton Rouge, for example, and they have a legal issue in Lafayette, we can refer that person's case to the Acadiana Legal Services for representation. Likewise, if someone lives in Lafayette or Opelousas and they have a legal matter in Baton Rouge, Acadiana Legal Services can refer that case to our office for representation.
Now, given that you work in the legal aid industry, I'm going to assume that you guys are pretty much inundated with work at times.
Yes, we have a lot of cases.
Okay. And with that inundation of work, the normal day in the life of someone such as yourself must be pretty hectic.
Yes.
Can you please explain what a normal day for you, let's say a Monday, what would a normal Monday be for you?
Well, Mondays are very busy because a lot of people call in. They may come into the office, so we have an intake worker. They do the application, they go through the intake process, and then the case is transferred to an attorney, where an attorney will contact the person, find out what their legal issue is, give them advice. If they have a pressing matter, for instance, if they have a court date, then if they have any pleadings, then we'll request those pleadings, and we'll review those pleadings to determine whether or not we can assist that person in court.
Okay. Okay, so that would be a very busy day then.
Yes.
Wow, I know myself, I'm Mondays are usually one of the most dreaded days for me. It's kind of weird. Mondays and Fridays for me. Most people's Fridays are relaxed, but
Right.
my Fridays seem to be taken up with a lot of client interaction on Fridays. So I can see that definitely dealing with the classes of cases that you guys deal with, I could definitely see how that would be very, very busy. But with that, attorneys also have private lives. So what would you do like over the weekends?
Well, I am a mother, so I spend a lot of time with my children during the weekends, and my family. Family is very important to me, so that's mainly what I do, is just spend time with my family, go to movies or whatever. This past weekend, I went to an LSU game, so I enjoy myself on the weekends.
And many don't understand that although we do find a lot of joy in the work that we do, at times it is very stressful.
Yes, it is.
And with that, once we get family time, we just want to decompress,
Yes.
and we want to relax with our family. In the course of the work that you do, let's see if it's comparable to mine. My Saturdays is for as much as I want to relax, I'll get a client call or a client text, and I would have to say that that's every Saturday. Do you have to partake in the same?
No. My experience is different. Working at legal services, I do not get calls over the weekend, which is great because I'm allowed to devote my time to my family over the weekends. However, during the work week, I get calls, I get emails. So, but I do, my weekends are my own.
So as we're running out of time here, my experience being at the 19th JDC, which of course the 19th JDC is the Judicial District Court for East Baton Rouge Parish.
Right.
And within that we have a separate court, so to speak, of family court.
Yes.
Family court, for those who don't know, it takes place on the 4th floor of the 19th Judicial District Court building. For those attorneys out there who know, the 4th floor can be a very interesting floor. Do you have any, within the small time that we have remaining, do you have any quick stories that you can give us about your experience on the 4th floor?
Well, I can say that I've spent several years on the 4th floor. I can say that the experience has been that the judges that we have in family court in Baton Rouge are very fair. They take the time to listen to the cases, and they understand the law. They're very well versed in the law, and you have to understand that the judge does not know your story, so you have to present that story. Your attorneys present that story to the judge. Usually you have rule days where the court will allow you to have a status conference to determine whether or not your matter can be resolved amicably. If it cannot, then you will have to have a hearing. But we try to settle cases that can be settled. There are cases that cannot be settled. For instance, if someone is a victim of domestic violence, in many cases those cases cannot be settled. You do have to go to court. So you have to have a lot of patience when you go to court, especially on the 4th floor, because it may take a while to have those matters resolved, but realize that your attorney will do his or her best to get you the best result.
Fantabulous. Well, just real quick, when she says that the fourth floor, excuse me, you can be there for a while. I showed up at the appointed time of 9 a.m. one time, and I did not leave out until after my trial at about 6 o'clock that evening.
I have you beat.
Really?
I have been there until 7:30.
Oh, that's the 4th floor. It can take all day.
Yeah.
Well, Ms. Bergeron, I want to thank you. I want to thank Southeast Legal Services. And before we let you go, just please tell the audience how they can get in touch with you guys.
Okay, you can contact us by phone. The number is area code 225-448-0080, or you can contact us by email or online. The email address or the online address is www.slls.org, or you can come to our office, which is located at 715 St. Ferdinand Street, Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Well, thank you very much, Ms. Bergeron. We'll be right back with our wellness segment.